Good evening. How are we? Chenrezig. How was the CCTV? Yes, hello to all the viewers. Very good evening. Yes, it's always a new occasion. So, how should we begin today? Often it is the case when, of course, one is not supposed to do that. During meditation, it's just meditation, and there's no room for other things. But as we have started the recitation, I'm suddenly thinking, oh, that's what I forgot to say. So there's that. Nevertheless, maybe today, maybe we can, in fact, start with a question. Maybe Daniel Lin has a very good question. On behalf, as you would be half in it. So, yes, could you start one? Yes, you? Oh, either way is fine. Or someone? Someone is there, okay.
Здравствуйте, Кармапа. Спасибо вам большое за все. У меня такой вопрос. У меня дети уже взрослые очень. Но почему приходится иногда очень сильно вовлекаться и переживать, когда у них проблемы какие-то? И почему так сильно, душа болит за них, хоть они уже взрослые? Как вот не вовлеченным быть?
So we'll translate. So thank you very much for the opportunity to ask the question. And my question is, I have children and they're already grown up, but still I'm very much involved emotionally when they have problems and my heart is really hurting. And I don't know, I just want to ask how to stop to do this, to be so much emotionally involved.
How old are they?
30 and 40.
Oh, okay. 30 and 40. Okay. Then it's just a namesake. Because, well, okay, maybe that was insensitive of me. But meaning that, sorry, no, I wasn't grimacing for that point. I was grimacing at that silk. I told them not to put the silk on the tea, yes. The tea doesn't need silk. But they keep putting the silk. Of course, from their point of view, they think it's meritorious for themselves. So that's why I was going, Anyway. No, I mean, I think first and foremost, it's just probably this is one of what it's all about, of this conditioned life, I think. That when you are first born, you have no notions or wishes or aspirations about becoming parents or fathering or mothering, in short. And it's all just kind of a very strange miracle, And then if you're healthy enough, if you are somehow accepted by the society as one of their regular folks, or regular friend, then there are certain expectations, of course, expectations about who you should be or shouldn't be, I'm just very, very generalizing, of course, here. So then, yes, there is a sort of biological sort of, as they say, clock or aspect to it that makes us feel that, I must, I don't know, wake up or sleep or stand up or do this or do that, anything. Yeah. And then along with that, the society knows no better. So therefore, they think this is it, society. Of course, it's not that big of a bubble. At the end of the day, it might be just the person next to you. I don't mean for you to look to your left or right now, but in generalization, yes. So therefore, there are those expectations, yes. And then along with that expectation, then along with what the biological state is kind of saying, something like hunger, actually. I was trying to avoid that, but there's no other way. So society kind of understands hunger, I suppose, and your body kind of understands or feels hunger, I suppose, And then we kind of nod along, Either way, to cut short, then yes, either biologically or non-biologically, we end up becoming some kind of parent figure, either for our own children or for someone else's, we don't know. Yeah. And so therefore I always use these words, biological, non-biological, because either way, we will kind of end up there, And so therefore, of course, that's the nature of the conditioned life, I think. And we basically, either one could, in a proper way to say, or in a positive sense, positive manner, we complete our life just worrying about that, worrying about caring for that someone. So we cannot really escape it. So that is the nature of this world that we are living in. Is it good? Is it bad? We cannot say, because there are sometimes good days, sometimes there are bad days, and you just cannot, say this is the victorious one, This wins, You just cannot, Today it might seem the worst, but the next day it's completely something else, And so, therefore, there's no way of saying this is bad or this is good or anything like that. And probably that's why probably seeking for Devachan rebirth probably makes sense, magical birth. From a lotus flower, you're born, But beside that, we're still here, and so therefore, there's no beautiful way of saying, but this is how it is here, this conditioned world. So the English word acceptance may not be a nice word. But nevertheless, this is how it is, And you will end up worrying and worrying, I'm 40 plus years old, and my parents are still worrying about me, And they cannot help it, Is he cold? Is he hungry? Is he freezing? Whatnot. Now they have to think about, is he too fat? Before, before we didn't have to think about that. Fat was good, in such high altitude, it's like a polar bear, The more fat reserves you have, the better it was, But now they have extra worries, yes. And this extra worry will also go on till, I don't know how long, yes. And I have to keep on wishing that that they will have great longevity. And what does that say? Is it in some indirect way of saying, I hope that they will worry for me longer? So, this is the kind of world we are living in, yes. Of course, this is just putting it very mildly, of course. But, we cannot really escape it, through one way or the other, we will make each other worry, And therefore, it almost feels that there's no way of escape. So, what does Buddhism say in this place? Each method kind of varies, because it's like a season, When Buddha was there, meaning Shakyamuni Buddha was there, nobody really had to worry, sort of thing, He knows what to do, He will say the right thing. But after Buddha left, then now everybody had to kind of really worry, Anyway, in short, it's like seasons, and so therefore every time it changes, and accordingly you have to give again another method, and therefore maybe right now, if you are too foreign to Buddhism, we may feel that what is the right way, and in this case, there's no really way of saying this is the right way, because it's always seasonal, Our mood, or what we say, our karma, it's always kind of seasonal. So therefore, accordingly, we have to meet those not really demands, but we have to complement that, complement that season. It is supposed to be winter, but it's interestingly enough quite warm, And so therefore, what should we wear? What should we eat? So likewise, there are various methods, yes, but the overall tone is basically saying a direct advice is acceptance. A little bit more mildly put is understanding. More or less the same thing. And so it's accepting now. It's not because this is my karma, I did say karma already, but not because, but not in a way that this is it. This is kind of my prison, and therefore I just have to take the toll or whatever punishment, It's nothing like that, Karma means, very simply, it's seasonal, It's just on and off, or up and down, up and down. And so accordingly we have to be basically alert, a little bit like an animal, let's say, wild animal, of course, not pets, yes. Wild animal, in a way that, of course, even the wild animals are now, they are starting to lose their compass, of course. You can see that in Bodh Gaya, normally around sunset, of course, all the birds will flock around 5 p.m. or a little over 5 p.m. around the Bodhi tree to rest, to sleep, yes. But now with all the lighting, they're a little bit confused whether it's the right time or not, But overall, there is something we can learn from them, that no matter the human input, the incredible human input, they just know where is the warmth, and so they know exactly where to migrate, in short. Yeah. Yes, through our inquisitive mind, we can say, oh, they are migrating, But no, it's just because they have no other, they have no complicated mind like of ours. And so therefore, it just makes sense, Follow your nose or follow your senses, and then they just go, either fly off or whatever, They just migrate, south to north, every season, And so there is something there that we can learn, yes. I'm not saying that is it, yes. But what does that say, in terms of what we can learn? What it basically means, what we can learn from there is that it's not fixated, The route is not necessarily completely the same for their migration, but nevertheless, they can kind of follow. We have all kind of descriptions about why they are migrating, why they follow this way. We have labeled so many things already, I love Discovery Channel, I love Animal Planet, and of course not to mention Sir David Attenborough. But nevertheless, maybe this is who we are, We like to just label everything. But if you remove all the labeling and then if you just watch, then it's very interesting. We can learn something, So in this case, acceptance is something similar, I think. It's more of just understanding, a kind of understanding that we gain through just simply watching, watching every day. And so therefore we never really close our eyes when we can afford to open our eyes. So we observe. So therefore it naturally implies that we can mingle, We can mingle, we can socialize, It's just a part, or yes, very much a part of watching in a way. We can socialize. So therefore, we don't have to limit ourselves and say, "Oh, this is bad. This is samsara," and so on. So we can. But with this added input, one could say that we do it so that we can watch. We can view. How more than what they say, or what he says, or what she says, what they said, more about because of a certain saying, how do I react, and then we will learn more and more about how I react to that, whoever this is, this I is, how I react to that, yes. And it may not be direct, but in an indirect way, then we can gain a better attitude of acceptance, on acceptance, so that we can accept this conditioned world, Anyway, this is just my theory, yes, drawing from how little I've learned or understood so far, let's say, and yes. So yes, in short, I will have a lot of time to worry also, for my own. I know I am being worried about, and so therefore I can kind of relate in some ways, one could say, And so therefore it's pretty much to say that you will keep on worrying for a long, long time. Yes. And I'm wishing you, a great longevity. So I don't know if this is good news or bad news, because that means you keep on worrying for a long, long time. Yes, if my wishes come true.
Я благодарю вас, спасибо огромное. Желаю вам тоже здоровья и долгой-долгой жизни. И до встречи.
I'm very grateful to you, and I also wish you very good health and very, very longevity. And see you soon many times.
So that my past will worry and my future would be worried, Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes, there is a gentleman in the green camouflage.
Karmapa, I read my question.
Yes.
You said, as far as I remember, that in meditation on Chenrezig, we don't know who we really are. Chenrezig, a lotus flower or moon disk. And after that, I noticed that I have strong habit in my mind to get attached to the object of meditation. And how to be free from clinging to the object of meditation. Because I really...
What is your object of meditation?
When I am Chenrezig, for example, yes, and I get attached to this form. I am Chenrezig now. It's a strong shape.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think this particular method, that we are doing now, is quite unique. Little bit, as I said, yesterday or no, day before, I think, it's a little bit similar to a Guru Yoga in some ways, because we don't really, we just don't really bother about who we are, yes. And we're just thinking of the Chenrezig, yes. Yes, we do say from the very beginning, all of us who are as vast as the sky, on top of their head, Chenrezig, and so on. Yeah. But that's about it. Yeah. So us, who? Who do we? How do we look like? Who we are? Nothing. Yeah. Practical. Very interesting. Yes. And so is this an implication and the indication that we just solely focus on the Chenrezig metaphor? We don't know, yes. Guru Yoga is kind of similar, yes. We kind of begin with that. Yeah. We say, of course, in the Guru Yoga, of course, it's more precise by saying that something like all this ordinary form and so on. Yeah, we kind of begin that way. Tamal, which is a Tibetan term. Anyway, I think during Guru Yoga, it's coming from a psychological aspect where we like to little bit put ourselves down, you know, by saying we or I, the ordinary person, maybe. Yeah. Maybe we like that, you know. Maybe we're a little bit sadistic in that moment. I don't know. It's not in the teaching, okay? So I'm just saying it, yes. But here in the Chenrezig sadhana of this, the King tradition, no, it doesn't say that, of course. It's more generalized, you know. Either way, it's very interesting because most of the other sadhanas are saying we are just focusing on the metaphor itself by saying from the very first place, of course, foregoing the refuge, generating bodhicitta, then we just emptiness, and then from the emptiness everything arises and so on. Yeah, so it's a very simple, more generic method, one could say. You know, it's the same for most of the sadhana practices. Sorry, idam practices. So, yes, I think it doesn't really take away, as you put it, the object, you know, doesn't really take away the object of seeing the Chenrezig, but not necessarily seeing yourself as Chenrezig, you know, particularly. But nevertheless, it seems like very fine balance and very beautifully put, you know. Kind of like a Guru Yoga, kind of like a Yidam Yoga, but not really differentiating, you know, with great contrast. So, in short, what happens is that you focus on the Chenrezig, of course, and the rest happens. Yes. I think that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say was that, in short, it's a bit of a put-down theory, yes. Meaning, put down. What are we really trying to put down? Obviously, it's the ego, you know, or the so-called ego, if there is an ego, yes. Because sometimes, out of goodwill, let's say, there is a problem, you know, let's say, you and I have a problem, let's say, you know, and I know your problem, let's say, and then you and I have been trying to avoid that problem by, I don't know, focusing other things, you know, but both of us know that that problem is still there, you know, and so therefore, either you or me, either any of the two of us, maybe out of goodwill, because we don't want to. I mean, if you have learned anything about the Sojong practice, is that it says, or maybe it doesn't really say there, but nevertheless, it does kind of imply that before anything rots, you know, before anything begins to fermentate, any kind of damage, take care of it immediately, address it immediately, If there's a problem, kind of address it before it rots. Yeah. So, according to that method, maybe either you or me, we might want to address it, in the most eloquent way as possible, in the most positive way possible, by using whatever vocabularies that we know of our language, kind of address that, Often end up by saying something like, "I'm sorry." And maybe you said, "I'm sorry," but I kind of forgot in a way, But because you said, "I'm sorry" for that problem that we had, I'm suddenly reminded of that problem. And therefore I begin to become very agitated, and start to get really worked up about it. Yeah. So this could happen, I don't know what I was talking about. Eh? No, not Sojong, way before Sojong. Yes. Eh? 40 towers? What? Put down, yes, that's it. Put down, yes. So yeah, that's it. Put down, yeah. So therefore, it could feel like that, It's possible, according to the individual liberation practice or many other practices, it says that, I think particularly according to the individual liberation practices, it says before 24 hours, if there was a damage, raise your hand, and address it. Yeah. Among your current group, that there was a breach in the conduct. Yeah. Then, hopefully, we will not be judged, but we will be understood and accepted. And then, hopefully, we will care for you, or care for me, well, that's the utopia that we are hoping for, of course. Nevertheless, beyond that, one could say, is that it's seasonal, like I said earlier. You don't quite know, And so therefore there are methods, various types of methods. Sometimes knowing the situation, it's kind of useful to really address the situation before it gets, I don't know, before it's forgotten. That's the simplest way to say, or before it rots, basically fermentate and aggregate and so on. Yeah. So it's good to address it. You kind of know that it might not be a pleasant experience, We are laughing and joking, and suddenly we feel that, okay, now we are in a good mood. Maybe now I can say it, and hopefully we will take it lightly, But it could be just the opposite. Suddenly you kill the moment, and the most amazing argument takes place, So that's possible. But with the acceptance, maybe we address it. Yeah. But on the other hand, we may not exactly address it in a way, Or a better way of saying is, according to the season, You kind of know that it may rot, it may be forgotten, which is more dangerous in some ways, because if it's forgotten, then there is no room for justice, because now you don't know who, I don't know, who ate my last scone, who ate the last biscuit, or I don't know, You did or I did, we just don't know. Yeah? So therefore, yes. Anyway, coming back, Chenrezig. Yes. Chenrezig, this particular Chenrezig method is interesting because it's very delicate and I would say very, very intelligent, yeah. Because it's not completely saying put down to say you are nobody, At the same time, you're not saying you are it or you are Chenrezig, You are the most supernatural being. You are a super person, And without saying any of those two, Chenrezig, And then we are like, oh. And the job gets done, And suddenly we feel fresh, we feel good, we feel that, I don't know, maybe we can move mountains, whatnot, yes. The job gets done, yeah. So I think it's a method like that, yeah. That's why it's so pervasive, It works everywhere, yeah. Within Buddhist, even within non-Buddhist, we can more or less use the method, yeah. Whereas a Guru Yoga is a little bit tough, because it's kind of a put down, yeah. And therefore it's delicate, yeah. That's why I think within the Theravada and Mahayana, there's no real emphasis on Guru Yoga, I think. Yes, I'm not saying there isn't entirely. There are, of course, very strong emphasis on this so-called spiritual friend. It is there, yes, but not in a but not the kind of metaphor that Vajrayana uses, let's say, like Guru Yoga. Yeah. In there, that method is there. Why? I don't generally know, but I particularly know in terms of maybe some of us really feel that I am a villain, I am, I don't know, Gus Fring, No? Okay. That's Gustavo Fring? No? No. Okay. Doesn't matter. Okay, someone understood. So, but with great certainty, It's not like saying, "Oh, I'm so sad. I'm this and that." No, but with great acceptance that this is it. I am the villain. Not in a neurotic way, okay, but kind of in a with a certain kind of acceptance, that I cannot escape. This is where I am, and so therefore I'm willing to make the most of it, sort of thing. Anyway, so those of us who feel that I am ordinary, in short. I am ordinary. I'm not enlightened. I cannot compare myself to, forget Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I cannot even compare myself to a good friend of mine or a competitor of mine because they are far more excelled in various areas, compared to me, like that, And so therefore, now over and over and over again, we have made a habit of that. I don't know, to say I'm an addict to substance or to ego or to sadness, and many other things, And so therefore, I'm not saying Guru Yoga is really designed for that. I'm not saying that, But those of us who feel that we are kind of, worldly speaking, we may be respected to really accept that we are ordinary, Because maybe there are many others, or the majority doesn't really even know what it is to accept oneself as ordinary, And therefore, compared to that great mass, population, one could say, maybe, we are in a certain elite minority, of being able to accept that we are ordinary, let's say, and we are okay with it somehow. And so maybe, one could say through that the Guru Yoga is kind of meaningful, Anyway, Guru Yoga is a far more diverse subject than that, of course. But nevertheless, yes, there is a way. It's kind of saying, if you have a certain worldly, not to say quality, but character, like that, then Guru Yoga may be a little bit more successful. Because Guru Yoga is saying, okay, if you're in that state of really believing that you're ordinary, fine, you can still find a way, And let's work with that. And then, so that's the thing. Anyway, back to Chenrezig is very beautiful because we don't have to worry about being put down or not being put down because we are not even the subject, Sometimes we would like to have that kind of conversation, don't we? We have a get-together of certain friends and groups, and we can talk about anything, any subject, current matters, history, future events, and all of us are not in any way talking about personal things, and we can have a wonderful time, tea time. So, yes, but I'm not saying again Chenrezig practices like that, of course, but yes, without really, hitting the nerve, we do something very, very productive. And so I think it's something like that. So therefore, the object is there. Object of Chenrezig is very, very much there. It's like saying, what is that? And then we focus on that with great detail. Obviously, in time, or sooner or later, it's that or this particular Chenrezig method will find a way to become personal, for sure. Yeah. It's very much possible that this particular Chenrezig method will make us, focus on many other practices. Will make us learn about what is this fuss about Guru Yoga or something, or something else. Yes. But for now, we just simply use this method so that it doesn't become too personal, so that none of our nerves are squeezed or poked, Yet at the same time, we do something very, very productive. And one way or the other, we will get to the core. Yes. But by the time we are able to get to the core, we are very relaxed. Yeah. And it's no big deal. It's like it will be as simple as talking about someone else and not about me. Immediately, if you have to talk about me, it's difficult. Yes. You have to find a way to relax. A good speaker or a good friend or, a good psychiatrist or whoever. First, they have to kind of find a way to talk about weather and politics or whatever that is nowhere near me. Yes. And once we're relaxed, then we can talk about me. And this me is presented at some point in such a way that it's as if it is someone else, which is often the case it is. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Anyway, no dinner, yes? So, so we can go on. That's my excuse.
Hello, Karmapa.
Hello.
Thank you very much. So this morning, Karmapa Chenrezig gave another wonderful lecture.
Choncho.
Yes.
Yes.
And it was amazing, and we talked about the 5 hindrances to meditation and 8 antidotes. And he talked about getting into...
Oh, but sitting.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sitting,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
There you go. Anyway.
When I corrected, because I thought you meant Khenpo Chencho, and then when you said something else, when I corrected, Khenpo Chencho had 0 reaction. I thought, how cool is he? I thought, Yes, sorry, continue please. Sorry for the distraction. Sorry for the frivolities. Yes.
No, it's great. So my question is, he was talking about getting into a natural flow, like during meditation is to get mind and body into resonance, so to say, like in a natural flow.
Yes.
And I wonder what are signs of getting into this natural flow, let's say. Because he was talking about, I wrote it down, 1 second, tightening and loosening. Yes, tightening and loosening, and striking this right balance. There's this famous parable of the sitar, of course.
Yes.
But, what are the signs of tightening? Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. For me, it's loud enough. Anyway, so what are the signs of getting into a natural flow between tightening and loosening?
Yes.
Thank you.
I think pretty much everything. Yes, like sitara or traditional meditators, I'm sure during the lecture must have been mentioned, the meditation belt, or the very belt that I'm wearing, I'm sure by now this is another sign, yes. Listen. Because I wear a particular belt, not the traditional belt that most wear. I wear plastic belt, yes. Plastic rubber belt, I don't know, however you call it. I like this. Do you know why? Because then I can go through the security, through the airport very easily, yes. Whereas if I wear the traditional belt, it takes a lot of time to loosen it, because sometimes they say, just take it off, The last time when I was going through UK, that officer said, loosen it, And I said that if I take off, it might not be appropriate, or something along that line. Then he said, okay. So, yes, meditation belt, or I don't know, pillow, chair, bed, clothing, everything, yes, food, company, everything, yes. Yeah. So therefore, I think it pretty much comes down to that thing that I said earlier about seasonal in a way. Yeah. Yes, the method is there, which is like a formula, I think, as if it's almost, 2 plus 2 equals to something, that simple, that anyone can get. It's always there. Yeah. But according to the situation, maybe it's okay to say 2 plus 2 is 2, or 1, or nothing at all, yes. Because you know that that will make somebody's day, or that will make your day. I think it's something like that. Yeah. So how do we know that we are there? The thing is, we've always been there, Not really been there, and that's not the right way to say. We are always there, maybe that's the right way to say, a better way to say. It's just that it didn't click. Yeah. It just didn't click so far. Yeah. We've done it for a long time, For example, like to the earlier question, or what I said earlier, ordinary, we could very much be thinking that we are ordinary, by thinking of all the known history of myself, that when I put them together, really ordinary, But there are so many other things that we didn't even notice, actually. Yeah, there were moments that we were actually very flexible, If you came across, I don't know, a helpless granny, or a helpless little puppy, or something, we actually were quite flexible, It's just that we couldn't connect to that. Yeah. Because in that moment, there was no real room for ego in a way, And it was just instantaneous. No matter how great of a villain we are or were, in that moment, we were a perfect gentleman, let's say, Yeah. Of course, later on, we can use that memory to say, I object, for that, for my crimes, because I was a gentleman, and so on. But nevertheless, those are there, I think. And so therefore, I think, yes, a sign to say if we are there, if we have arrived, which is a very common thing for us to do, of course, because we were educated that way, and we are, according to that education that we know, we are going about our spiritual path in the same way, of course. And so therefore, recognition, not in terms of an award or something, but to say you are there, And so it doesn't quite go that way in the spiritual path, yes. We have no choice but to go along with that habit of reward, but it doesn't really work that way, And so therefore, the teachers have a hard time, qualified or good teachers, one could say, genuine teachers, one could say, authentic teachers, they kind of have a hard time saying you are already there, They're kind of trying to say that either through, humor or through scoffs or through tantrums, I don't know, but nevertheless, it's kind of the best kind of indication that they can find, because the point is we are already there, From the moment we can talk and think, we can already be there. Way before that, completely we are there. And the moment we get educated, we lose that, more and more. Yes. But even then, that baby state continues, So of course, the whole challenge, from my point of view, is going from baby state to Buddha state, In between, we have this crowd of, adulthood or being mature or something, So we have to kind of find our way, So towards the end, we kind of reached there, but then we didn't really pay too much attention to that journey, and so therefore we restart again, So I think the whole process of this generation completion is all about knowing that middle path, It's not really a middle path, in between, balance or anything. It's just meaning all that hustle and bustle, remembering all of that, I think. So, yes, it's all there. The signs, the symbols, proof, evidence, seal, little seal, great seal, Maha seal, everything's right there. It just, we have to maybe go through certain photo albums, maybe, or talk to our grandpas and grandmas, maybe, how cute you were, when you were a baby, or when you were at a certain stage, and that's it. You were there, already there, and every now and then that symptom comes up, and then, but because of the habit of saying no, I am this, I'm that, and so on. So when those certain traits come up, you're like, sort of like, as if it's some sort of a flea or something. Yeah. Okay. So then now, I think we're good. Last one. Okay, the gentleman with the beard. Last one. We will do tomorrow.
Hello, Karmapa. Thank you for opportunity to ask you. My question is about our important mantra, Karmapa Chenrezig. Once in Bodh Gaya, Tibetan guys asked me, what are you repeating? And I said for them, and they said, oh, such devotion. And I was requested, what does it mean? And yesterday you said about Chen, yeah, like a apple eye. Like eyes,
yes, yes,
yeah?
yes, yes.
Chen also the part of this
yes, yes,
mantra. Probably
yeah,
the no
yeah,
is the syllable which we should know how it's like
yes,
understand.
yeah.
And also very important,
Yes.
the mood. Yes, you said the
Yes.
karma is like a mood.
Yes.
So what kind of mood probably I should have during the recitation of this mantra? By who it was given? What does it really mean? And how possible to perceive it? Maybe some variations there are, or like.
Of course. Okay, I think I understood. Yes. No, I don't know how it came to be, but that part of Kyenno, or actually it's Kyenno. It's I don't know how to put it, but actually it should be Kyeno. Kyenno. Oh, close to that in terms of phonetic, yes. Not Cheno. Yeah. But I don't know how that came into being. No worries. So yes, I can see the dilemma in terms of Chenrezig, the sort of more correct phonetic translation is Chen. Either way, I don't know which Tibetan guy said that. Must have been interesting fellow, you know. Must have been a test, yeah, of some kind. So that's the Chenno. Yeah, it's not really Chenno, it's Kyenno. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can, if you're used to saying Chenno, if it's already there in the text saying Chenno, doesn't matter. You don't have to change that. You just have to know that it's just different meaning. Yeah, if you want to just personally get it correct, then you can say pronounce it as Kyeno. Yes. It just, the meaning is nose in English word, not nose, but knowing. You know, I know, you know, they know. So know, you know. So if you say it knows, or she knows, or he knows, you know, then we say knows, yeah. So it just means that, yeah. Yeah, the one with the karma knows, you know, or the one who meddles with karma knows, or something, you know. Yeah, Karmapa Chenrezig, yes. To me, I know from a traditional point of view that it has great blessing, of course. That's there, yes. But beside that, personally, whenever I recite that, whether I have to give a lung or whether I have to recite that in unison with everyone, that's where I have a little bit of a chuckle, you know. You know? Because it's like a mirror. Yeah. I see it like a mirror, you know, that particular mantra. Because it says karma, we all kind of know, karma, yeah. As it just basically says, if you just say karma, it's more like saying happening. But because we add the pa, after that becomes doing. Do you see the interesting combination? Yeah. And then Chenno, it's very interesting. Yeah. Because if you are just viewing, just watching, let's say as if from our eyeballs or something, everything is just happening, But the moment you say, let's say you're watching football, you watch football? No, you don't watch football. Why should you? It's a stupid game. But you watch some kind of sports? No. Chess, yes, good. That's a sport, yes, that's a sport. Brain muscle, very important, Some exercise to the fingers, but mostly to the brain, yes, great, yes. So, yes, let's say you're watching the test championship, the championship of chess, world chess or something. First you are just watching, But at some point you wish to take side, don't you? For some reason, the fellow with the mustache is somehow endearing, I don't know, in some way. Or maybe the fellow without the mustache, or I don't know. Maybe it's the girl with the glasses or something, I don't know. You create some kind of connection with that, Or maybe according to that person's skill or charisma, I don't know, anything, You begin to take side. Maybe you know that person, something, One way or the other, after much viewing, you begin to take side, yes? And therefore, there is slowly a kind of, not really a wish, but this feeling like I'm rooting for this person, for this side to win. Yes. And now how easily it has switched from just seeing everything as happening, but turning into doing, Yeah. Now you are involved, in short, doing, yeah. Yes. So, it's just, Karmapa, this term for me is very interesting because in just 1-2 syllables, it just describes everything, That part where you're just observing and the part where you're participating, and then it's like saying that last part, not chenno, but kenno, yes, it's like saying, It's like you are completely flabbergasted, after seeing that everything is just like that, Yeah. And so yes, of course, we would like to add a bit of spice to that, emotional, a bit of emotion, of course, a dash of emotion, and so that we could feel that that's how it is, that is how it is, been told so many times by our spiritual friend, whoever that may be, And so suddenly you are kind of reminded of that, and you see that that's exactly where you are, or that's exactly how you're behaving, yes. And then you say like in English, not exactly cursing, but there are certain ways of, surprise reactions that we use, like wow, or whoa, or I don't know. In different culture, we have different ways of expressing, And so, in Tibetan in general, we kind of have a general expression. We say "kunchon kien," yeah, instead of "karmapa cheno," "kunchon kien," and that's a little bit close to saying similar to in English, like God knows, or goodness only knows, or something, similar, yeah. Because it means that simply it's an expression of, it's a genuine expression. It's like saying you thought you knew something, but it turns out that you really didn't know, And so therefore, goodness only knows what this is, It's like an expression like that, yeah. So Karmapa Chenrezig often sounds to me like that, It's not really, of course, from an emotional perspective, it's like saying, Karmapa, please think of me, That's a more overrated translation, yes. It's like, we relate that to that, calling the Lama from afar, So it's a very emotional thing, yes. No worries, we can do that, yes. But if you want to really get to the core of it, well, not really core of it, but if I want to get to the core of it, that's a better way to say. To me, what gets to my core is thinking like that, It's like a reaction of pure surprise. Yeah. And you're repeating, saying, wow, 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 And you're counting that, And it's as simple as that, actually. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So it's not really well, maybe that's a mantra, Yeah. So it's not calling somebody, yeah. It's not calling anyone or anything, yeah. So, yeah, karma, mood. I think I covered that during the last time. It's more to do with tendencies, It's just there, We can turn any circumstances into anything we want, yeah. I think there's a beautiful line from the Mahamudra prayer. Don't remember now. Anyway, yes. I think the line kind of says something like, nothing is as it seems, yet at the same time, anything can appear, Yeah. And so therefore, that's exactly what it is, yeah. You can have the worst of your enemies, the one that you thought it was your arch nemesis, and suddenly you can see that person helping a stranger, a pure stranger, a granny, crossing the street, like I said earlier, like that. And you can think of your very, very best friend, the one that you will rely on more than anyone, suddenly doing the most, unthoughtful, most despicable thing, And so anything can happen, yes. Yeah. So therefore, no real point. Or there is a real point to be flexible. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Then.
thank you.
Thank you. Then now we focus on Chenrezig, and I will try my very best not to think I should have said that, or I want to say that now, and you do the same by basically thinking that you've done all the preparation, you've gone through all the process of preparing for this moment, and so now that you are here, then you don't now for the next, depending on the Omze's karma or Omze's mood. Of course, basically dinner, of course. It's not Omze, it's dinner, you know. Or no dinner, I don't know, you know. Or to be more precise, my arrival, yes. My time of arrival, yes. So anyway, no matter how long or how short the session is, in short, now you allow this period to just do, you know, to engage, yes, to actively engage, yes, and the way or the mood, or to set the mood. I said something yesterday about the mood of a single parent, that of a single mother to her only child being in a very desperate situation, something like that. Yeah, that's the best we can come up with. Yes, and so from that manner, then we just let that expression just follow through. You know, a good swing. You know, all the way. Yes, we don't hesitate. You know, to be or not to be. You know, but all the way. You know, mistake or no mistake doesn't matter. The die is cast. You know, so we just go through all the way, and let me see what happens afterwards. Yeah. It can be good, it can be bad. Sometimes it's so good that later on you have, you go, I don't know, you have a lot of obstacles, you know, as a result, you know. It's possible, yes. Often that's the case. I mean, I'm sure you have met many friends who said, I think Buddhism is one of the best things I've ever found, and I did my best to learn its ways, and yeah, I put everything into it, you know. And already from the beginning and towards the end of my Buddhist career, I became bankrupt, I got divorced, I have multiple health issues and so on, you know. So, yes, all this is possible, yes. You know, but now, we don't doubt about that, yes. We just follow through. Yes. Thank you.
Durunjin chanjin de lo na ru ma ma me lo chen jen gan bo bo de so shen jen gon ken kar ma bo Che chun jen jun ban zin nam dang Tin dan ban den dung ba su Sa loin chan jan che loin ngai nyen bin Nhan min trung gen dang bui gan yu la so one dep so je lai manam je ban jen no nam darai jing ge loi xian loi gong jian gang barai song ba xin sen nor gong lai chai xian men ba dang sen dren ten tai chen ben gong chen lam nian gong xian ba Brian Ching Yellow Mengan Goim Jen Go Song Ba Xin Mengan Den Goim Jen Be Lai Ma Lai Jen Do So Wan Den Ben Goim Jen La Chim men gun ge warai jing ge lo yin men gun jing ngui shi song ba xin kan shen dun ben ngui so ma me man jun den garai jong ben gom chen lam gom jai loin dain da wai jin je loi nam doi ngoi wen chen goi song ba xin chế yan ma yin chế yan chara wa la ma ga ron brai chara wen gom chen la kroen de ye men dong brai chen je loi chế wai gun doi yan doi lai mai dam thal me bai lai loin je jing san doi lai je yan ran zoi nim Jen chan gen go vai nyun doi shui san je chen doi son jen chon nam lai chan join paran doi dan nin jia sun chi dai gen gom den je be sun nam je do loi ben je san je do brai shui san je chen dan soi je chon nam la chan jo ban do dan nen jia sui chi dai ge gom de je be su nam je do loi ben je Shui san je chen dan sui je chon nam la chan jo ban do dan nen jia sui chi dai ge gom de je be su nam je do loi ben je san je do brai shui da sui kai jai sim jing ge Chin zuen ben garan da wen ding re le pa join jen re sen kara sa we sen a den ru zi zon to jen jen ge sen cha xian dang bo en tal jara dai pa ben te yo so we bai men be o jin jin sham nyen dor je gel jong Dawan jam dem boy jam ne kundu ngoy joy benge magen kundu kar zo san jege ulai jin Thôi jen jen do la se chere se lai cha zai loi cho chen ge ma gen don ga so san je ge u lai jen Thôi jen jen do la se chere se lai cha zai loi choi chenge ma ge kun do kar zo san je ge u lai do jen do la se chere se lai cha zai loi pa pa chere se wan dai choi jo de san sho wa ye Jawa se je tam je lai kun ne tam ven cha zai lo Mendo ento be marmen jen so ge she so Tomai menen dan dem bai mi gen jo dan samen Simne nye mo wang jiro be dik ban tam je shabrai je Nyen de ran jai jan jo sim so so je o la so ba te sam so nam la nien da ye ran sim je nam ge sam ban da lo ye je dai chin da Che jong de moen te ba yin che ge kor loen kor do so kor wan ji se ma dong ba nya nye min da tu je yi de ngai ja so jin wa yi sem je nam lai se so Đại ge sư nam chi san ban tham je jang juen 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 lim do wa yen tem ben ban don da yo je te drai je sun dan be pa ben ko le zren tu Mandan le nai tu shen jan chen de wai jing ge xin nan jun chen de le ngan sin chen re se wai ko son na re do yer men jo man be me man be me man be me man be me Hoy man ban me hoy man ban me hoy hoy mane padme hoy mane padme hoy hoy mane padme mane padme mane padme mane padme Shin Lino Pabin Gun Tata Yigin Trube Yang Tendo Yishi Chembo Chere Se Wine Dum Juin Doan Ji Jan Malu Ban Ti Salai Gebrai Shuin Tendra Gomden Jebe Sanan Jen Dadan Dalain Jendoin Doan Mezain Linden Borwain Jum Dewan Jendon Zuden Jewrai Shoy Chemoin Don Dun Sajun Ramdun Truben Chojoy Shenden Jemrai Shoy Kewan Din Jewun Sunam Yishen Zun Zun Sunam Tambain kunyen to braisho. Erme onda ay hunge chin laim jiro tsumenjo. Sanje lama yidam la zuen daim bawen kando chujoin tsujendam. Dinje nam gain jibjen de brainjo yidam gundo tsawe lama chu. Kunjo gundo tsawe lama chu. Zerel Chebrai join Berger Nazai Jam Balden Lamoy Ranjoy Jamoin Chejam Kordain Jebain Jebrai Jaboy Namoin Tezer Nagenda Dorje Legboy Singun Shinjoin Dain Kanan Dorje Jalboy Lasombe Karma Bayan Temboy Junan Loy Sami Shanghai Dezer Najoy Tormain Zaje Benza Amrin Dain Zage Rade Yunjam Chubashi Tiang Adan Sang De Go Nayan Konsain Chubenji Chuje Jundai Yinden Zobande Nizo Jishen Tobe Kosumji Te Ba Malim Bayen De Brajen Chulan De Den Sowai Tabandi Dazoi Gon Lain Chodain De Moinje Mudu Dendo De Lai Tsawain Ye Ye La Samje Geje Tsam Ye La Tumne Karma Bayin She Bai Gan Dage Male Nyurdoin Dubain Karma Bayin Ten Lain Nije Nain Dage Talwai Shindoi Lobai Nibain Dadain Yidoin Zaldo Soin Tedrain Chuden Debe Gewandi Manjung Zoben Sanje Gobain To Ngoen Danin Chewan Tamjen Do Lama Mijen Dorjen Da Idam Dorjen Berjen So Namya Yirmen Gobai Shoy Ema Hoy Ngozrai Sanje Now Tai Dai So Joy Toje Chembo Dan Indo Sembo To Jen To Nam Lai Sanje Jang Sembo Men Korje Kor Deje Moz Bandu Me Bayen De Wai Chen Shen Jawe Shen Gaim De Da Shen De Ne Zeben Jurmain Da Che Wai Shen Je Barmain Che Baru Teroi Jene No De Shol Doi Shoi De Gen Da Ge Malaim Da Bai De Chojo Sanjay Jansen Tamjin Ging Men Dobrai Chinja Labdos Daim Benzain Ya Awaim Bundan Naya Soya Chonde Jawai Sejen Goin Sonyen Zolai Jirain Tagin Design Gesaim Boy Kunjo Sum Lai Chubaim Bu Dem boy benjroin je ge wa sim je gon lai ngoi tere me nyam do ben se dre sa jo enjroi nam je zebe je ma ta de wa jen do ge jroi je ken pe mai ka chen de le den de lai san je shu chan ju je zen do tu ben do dem bai shu su nam de yen tam je sim ba ni to ne nyen ben dan nam pam je de je ga noi je pa lai tu ba yi sim ben so len do wan do wai sho chan jo sem ne rem bo je man je ba naim ge jo je ba nyam ba me ba con ne con do